Na kuna takwimu ambazo tunataka kukuonyesha sasa. Tulikuwa tumekuonyesha awali, sasa tukuonyeshe tena na tukwambie wapiga kura wako wapi na ni wangapi, kwa sababu jumla tumesema ni 1118, lakini ukifanya ile wanaita kwa kimombo breakdown, kura ziko wapi?
Lakini kabla ya hapo, hebu tuweze kusikiza wana ODM wana yapi ya kusema, manake walikuwa wameitisha kikao na wanahabari.
Naam.
Now, hii ni statement. Nikate kwanza.
First of all, introduce.
Now, we are here as with the chief agent of the Kibra by-election, Honorable TJ Kajwang. We are here with our candidate, Honorable Imran Okoth. We are here with the chairman of the Nairobi County ODM, Honorable George Aladwa Omwera. So we want to address you on behalf of ODM, the party and the only party that is known in East Africa. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the purpose of this press conference is to update you on the ongoing exercise of electing the next member of parliament for the great constituency of Kibra. First, we want to confirm to you that everything is ongoing as per our projections in the opinion poll. In the opinion poll that we held prior to this day. We wish to confirm to Kenyans that our candidate, Mr. Bernard Otieno Okoth Imran, is not only headed for victory, but an overwhelming victory at the close of the exercise. The voter turnout has been low as per the norms of the by-elections in the country, but so far it has been a bit impressive considering the other by-elections that has happened previously in the country. However, we urge the voters who have not come out to vote to do so in the remaining time to avoid being locked out at the close of the exercise at 5 p.m. We are, however, dismayed and astonished by the bad mannerism of open voter buying and bribery that we have witnessed in the better part of this morning since the exercise began. Cases of massive voter bribery outside polling stations have been reported to us, and in turn we have forwarded them to the police and the IEBC for action. In some instances, hawk-eyed residents of Kibra had to employ citizen arrest tactic to stop the perpetrators from committing this electoral offense, which is punishable by law. As a party, we are not satisfied with the reluctance of the police in taking action against those involved in the barbaric acts of voter bribery. Some are happening in their full glare. They just look and do nothing. The habit of people carrying money to polling stations is an old school, archaic and outdated culture which should not be tolerated in the modern day Kenya. We urge our supporters to be vigilant and remain so even after the exercise is completed to ensure Bernard Otieno Okoth's vote is protected to the end. Our team and supporters will continue being peaceful throughout the exercise as we await the final announcement of Okoth as the next MP for Kibra constituency. I told you we are doing this statement on behalf of our party, and that's the end of the written statement. But I want to add that so far, so good. As we had prepared, we were prepared for this election, and we have the data. We have the turnout as we speak today, at this moment, in every ward. We have the number of voters who have voted, and we know the trend the voting has taken. And we want to urge our opponents, especially the people who represent the Tanga group, to desist from bribing people. Election is not about money. Election is not about bribing people. You can import supporters, you can import youths the way you do, you can do anything. But voting can only be done by the bona fide residents, registered voters of Kibra. And you could see today, those crowds are nowhere to be seen. Only the people who are around in Kibra today are only Kibra people. I think that you've seen, people of the media. Have you seen any other outsider in this place? Only people of Kibra. So we want There are problems we have with the IEBC about the register, about people not finding their names, about people being registered here and their names in another constituency. But so far, so good. We want the exercise to end in peaceful manner. We want to ask our voters who have not voted to come out in large numbers and come and vote. And we have a peaceful exercise. By 5 o'clock, we close the polling stations as required by law. We count the votes after 5 o'clock. And we have confirmed, we have no doubt in our minds, completely that we are winning this seat. Yeah. We have the numbers, we have the figures, and we have checked our numbers properly, and we have seen how the trend of voting is happening. So with those few remarks, I want to give the chief agent time to address you as the chief agent of the exercise, and we want to ask our people to remain calm. But don't desist from telling us or informing us anyone who has come with dirty money to Kibra. We know there are people running around with bags of... I've just met Nixon Correa here. I've given him a warning. I've told him we are watching you keenly. And he told me he has returned the money back to the owner. So we are watching him very keenly. He has just told me now that nimerudishia pesa mwenyewe. So we are watching him. We are keenly following him up. Karibu sana mheshimiwa.
Well, today I'm a happy man. And I have very little, and characteristically very little to say on a day such as this. I work on behalf of my principals, and my principals is one Bernard Otieno Okoth, the candidate for ODM, and the other principal I work for is ODM. Let me say that the projections that are showing on the data are very similar to what we have seen before in terms of voter turnout. From what I can remember, the best that has happened in many of the by-elections has been somewhere about 32%. And if we have clocked 25 by midday and perhaps leading to 28, I think that when voters now will come from work between 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I think to 5 o'clock, I think you are going to see a surge in the voter turnout, and we probably could be, we could break the record of all the by-elections we have seen so far. And so even though people are anxious that perhaps the voter turnout is low, if you look at the science of elections before, you will just find that Kenyans are behaving the way they behave normally. About those people who have been bringing money to Kibra, for me, I would urge them to bring some more, because you have fed us well, we have eaten your money, and we feel nice, but we are not going to vote for you, because you can't buy our conscience, and you can't buy our rights. I think there should be by-elections in every 2 years in Kibra, so that we can feed the way we are fed. And so that we can also relieve some of your pockets which have too much money that you can't hold back. But you know, you have stolen that money. As long as it doesn't cause us constipation, bring it on, we'll take it. About the violence that we have witnessed from Jubilee has been, it has gone beyond the scales. We have seen members of parliament themselves, not their aides or policemen, you know, coming to cause chaos in police stations. We saw that in Mashimoni. We have seen that in DC grounds. We have seen that in mosque quarters. And yes, in Lindi Mosque. We have seen it. And they are targeting where women are so as to intimidate voters using violence. Well,